Jeffrey is obsessed with his crush. He scrolls on her social media, neurotically checking her story to see if she's been with other guys. What pictures has she been liking? He's obsessed. Adonis doesn't have crushes. He doesn't even know what one is. He never obsesses over girls because girls obsess over him. Whilst Jeffrey's focused on the girl that he likes, Adonis is focused on his work. That is the way of the masculine man. I wish that I watched the video like this when I was younger because I messed up so many times. I would overly emotionally invest into a girl that, I was like really obsessed over. I had a massive crush on them. And the signs were so clear that she wasn't into me, that she wasn't interested. And for some reason, it's like it's in the male brain to just be totally fixated on the girl that is somewhat showing you some subtle signs that she's not interested. But a lot of us don't pick up on that. There was a girl when I was around 18 years old and I was, going on some dates here and there. And, I was really excited. Like, yeah, she's really, really cute. And she was like above me. I'm not going to lie. She was like above my league at the time because I was quite like a, weird, nerdy kind of guy. And I had just recently started going to the gym. I started going on some dates with this girl and it felt awesome. She's come out to meet me and like we even held hands one time. The issue was that eventually she probably like lost some interest in me, which is fair enough. But I didn't see the signs. So there would be points, I'd text her like, oh, hey, do you want to go watch Guardians of the Galaxy? Bro, I swear to God, I invited like 7 girls to come watch Guardians of the Galaxy with me when it came out. Like, I never even ended up watching. Oh, fuck, that's so sad. I literally invited, there was a point when I invited every girl that I would be speaking to come watch Guardians of the Galaxy to me. And I've not even watched the movie. Like, every fucking girl I invited never came out with me, man. But yeah, like, I invited to this. She's down. She's like, oh, yeah, okay, we're gonna go meet on Friday, whatever. We're gonna go watch a movie together, or, whatever date that I had invited her to. Thursday rolls around, maybe Friday rolls around, and she just texts me like, oh, hey, sorry, I'm just busy today. How about Saturday? And of course, I had some clue. I had watched a couple of these kinds of videos which said that, oh, if she cancels, but she reschedules, then it's okay. The issue with that was that, okay, she cancelled, she rescheduled, which is a good sign, right? It gets to the rescheduled day, and she cancels and reschedules again and again and again. Now, looking back, it's kind of obvious what was happening, but, at the time when I had feelings for this girl and I was a little bit needy, it was so hard to just build up the level of respect for myself to just think like, nah, I don't really like how she's behaving. If we've said we're going to meet on a certain day and she keeps changing it, like, that's not attractive. But I was so emotionally invested into this girl that I kind of got played, I'm not going to lie. Another thing actually happened to a very good friend of mine. So when I was in high school, it was happening to him where, like, the girl that he wanted to date but just kept on telling him, oh yeah, we'll meet on this day. And then she kept on rescheduling. And I saw how much it hurt my friend when this was happening to him. And that's what I don't want to happen with you. So we're going to go over 10 signs that she's not that into you. And it might hurt your feelings, but the pain that you'll experience by watching this video all the way to the end will actually help you to potentially move on if that's the right thing. Or maybe you'll watch this video and she's not actually giving you these signs and maybe she is actually into you. Number 1, she doesn't pay that much attention to you. When you meet her or maybe you text her, it always just seems like her attention is somewhere else. Or, unfortunately, and this might fucking hurt, bro, her attention may be on someone else. The thing that you've got to understand about women, especially women who have a lot of feminine energy, is that their attention is almost always fixated on the best guy that they can get. This term is so controversial to use, but the alpha male, for a feminine woman, not just every woman, right? Because a lot of women are kind of like masculine. They've got quite a lot of like masculine, goal-striving, hard work kind of energy. I like to date feminine girls. And from my understanding, a feminine woman's attention is almost entirely on her alpha male. Maybe it's boasting. I will tell you some truth right now. I'm recording this video right now. I'm live streaming at the same time. We've literally got the boys watching us on a live stream. You see this? Boys have just seen this. Maybe you'll see it if you were watching the live stream as well. I'm just about to record. My girl comes in, gives me a coffee, gives me my water. She's sat in the other room right now thinking about me. I don't say that to even boast. It is just a hardcore fact. My girl is sat in the other room right now whilst I'm focused on my work. She's paying attention to me. When you are a girl's best option, when you're a girl's alpha male, her attention is on you. But unfortunately, when you're not the girl's best option, when she can do better than you, when she has like some other guy in mind, well, she's not paying that much attention to you. So the first sign that she's not into you, it's just kind of clear that her attention is elsewhere. Oh, this one's fucking brutal. Number 2, the second sign that she's not into you is that she pulls away from physical contact. I told a story once of like some girl that I went on a couple of dates with, or no, just one date, and we literally just went for a walk together. I don't even think we held hands or anything, but it got to the point when I walked her back to like her parents' home and I went in for a hug and she she did this, and she almost told me off, and she was like, no, I like not like that, but she like in almost like a little bit of a hostile way. She's like, no, like I don't like being touched or being hugged. Now, some people might be like that. Some people might just, you know, maybe like childhood trauma or something. Maybe. Some people might be sort of off-put with physical touch and stuff, fair enough. But chances are, if she's into you, she actually likes your physical touch. And this is actually something that I taught my best friend Sam. So, you know, he's our editor, my right-hand man. I taught him this when we were in Thailand together, and, you know, he was like under my wing on like how to get girls and everything. I taught him about this concept of like physical touch is huge, and that if, for example, we're in a conversation with some girls right now, and she just almost a little bit unnecessarily touches you, that is such a good sign. And I don't want to go into too much detail about Sam's dating life and everything, but I can tell you of one moment where I saw Sam implement this so perfectly, where we were literally sat with some girls we had just met. We're sat on the beach having a good time, and as this girl kind of like tells a story, Sam laughs and he just kind of puts his hand on her arm. Bro, this was so good to see. He did that, and I just saw her hand come up and almost like caress his arm a little bit, and I was like, fuck, oh, that's so good to see, bro. That is an awesome sign that if she's into you, she'll embrace your physical touch. But on the other hand, if she's not into you, she'll avoid it. She'll be like, you know, maybe polite, maybe you'll handshake, or maybe you'll do like a little polite hug or something, but she won't embrace your physical touch. Can we get a W for Sam, boys? W for Sam, W for Sam. Sam, I'm streaming whilst I record videos, fucking double content. Number 3, she doesn't ask you any personal questions or really get to know you more than just being polite. There was a girl that I matched with when I first started using Tinder. I think I was like 17 or 18 years old. And I remember this girl, I would message her on Tinder. Eventually I got her phone number. I got my friend's advice, like, how can I get her phone number? And he's like, oh, just tell her that you're going for a walk and you don't have any internet on your phone so that you need her number to keep messaging her. I sent her that message. She's like, yeah, you can have it. Gives me her number, and we start texting, and I texted her quite frequently. So this was before like I had any game at all. The issue was that she was replying to my texts, but she wasn't really interested in me. So I would message her some questions like, oh, you know, what are you doing today? What do you do? Whatever. And she would answer the question that I would send her, and she'd always reply back, oh, and what about you? That what about you gave me enough of a feeling to think that she was into me, when actually she wasn't. Because the thing is, if a girl is really into you, she won't just deflect your questions back at her. You know, you say, oh, what did you do today? And she's like, oh yeah, I did this. How about you? And you say, oh, what was your favorite type of music? And she said, oh, this is my favorite type of music. How about you? That shows almost like a lazy conversationalist. What you really want, like the perfect sign that a girl is into you, is not only that she will answer the question that you give to her and maybe she'll reflect it back onto you, but she'll take some time to even think of her own questions that she wants to know about you. If a girl doesn't seem to like ask you any original questions that you've not even asked her, chances are like she doesn't really care that much to get to know you more. Number 4, she doesn't make that much effort with you. The thing is, when a girl really likes a guy, she will make an incredible amount of effort. She'll go to the other side of the world for him. It's actually interesting that that phrase I've just used, she will go to the other side of the world for him, is exactly the relationship I'm in now. I met my girl Anastasia in Thailand on my last day of Thailand, and she was like meant to stay there, you know, traveling with her brother and everything. She was meant to stay there for longer. We hit it off. We both fell in love literally on the first day that we met each other. And she was supposed to like continue traveling for months and months and months. She doesn't really like the UK. Like, she's from here as well, and I'm from the UK. But she didn't really want to come back. And when we met, we fell in love. I came back to the UK. She ended up leaving her travels early to come back here and literally took 1.5-hour flight first to Bangkok, a 12-hour flight from Bangkok to London, and then like a 3-hour train or something to come see me. She traveled about 15 hours across the entire world to come see me for a date. And so of course, like, I didn't want to just make it like a normal date. So I made it like a 1-week road trip around the UK, around Scotland. It was quite literally the best week of my entire life. And I think she said the same thing. She will make an effort if she is into you, and this is the one I really want you to really just keep in mind. If a girl is into you, she will make an effort to come and see you. Even if you're far away, even if the logistics aren't really that nice, she will make an effort. And when she does show up, she will look like she's prepared herself for you. When a girl is totally into you, she's not going to come up wearing like unflattering kind of clothes or anything. Like, she wants to impress you. And so of course, the other side of this is true. If she's not that into you, if she doesn't really like you that much, she won't really make an effort. If you live like 10 minutes away and she won't come meet you, it's like, well, she probably doesn't like you then. Number 5, she doesn't keep eye contact. Now, this is one of my favorites, bro. If a girl is into you, if she's attracted to you, she will hold your eye contact. And there is times when you can literally just walk through the streets. If you are that kind of guy who's, you know, pretty confident and attractive, and when you see a girl walking past and she holds her eye contact and smiles, that is the single greatest sign that you can go and speak to her. When you get to know a girl better, maybe you spend some more time with her, maybe in class or in work, or just, you know, you meet for a date or something. Some girls can be a little bit shy. I've noticed that there's been girls who are into me who struggle with holding eye contact. That seems to happen. It's almost like your eye contact, if you're a certain level of guy, is a little bit intimidating. So it's almost been like a joke that I've had, you know, for years, that the girl who I can tell is into me, so me and her are sat quite intimately, you know, it's nighttime or something, things are getting a little bit more heated. And I noticed that her eye contact's a little bit fleeting because, you know, there's a level of intimidation or something. But generally, if a girl is into you, she will kind of want to look at you, she'll want to hold your eye contact. But if she's not interested at all, maybe, you know, she'll look at you while she's giving you some like pleasantries, oh hi, how are you and stuff. But if she just doesn't seem to look towards you or hold your eye contact, that can be a sign that she's not that interested. The sixth sign that she's not into you has just been suggested. I just asked them what should be the sixth sign that a girl's not into you, and this guy called JX Samurai said she's dry as hell. Now this is something that so many guys are victims of, that you could be texting a girl and her conversations, like the way she texts you, is just dry, like it's just boring. She's not even that interested, like she's not even engaging you in a real conversation. You send her a big message, oh, you know what you did, and she's just like a little one-word answer. Two-word answer, just boring, not even reflecting the conversation back at you, not asking you anything. The issue with this, which is what I've explained previously, is that she might still reply. Now, of course, I don't need to tell you that she's not into you if she doesn't reply to your messages. That's obvious, isn't it? Where young men get confused, and I was so bad for this, is that she replies, but she's still not interested. This is such a heartbreaking thing that I need to put into you and all the young men watching me live stream right now. Just because she replies to your text messages does not mean she's interested in you. It's kind of horrible to say, bro, some girls are just so addicted to the dopamine that they get from their phone and, you know, from Snapchat and text messages and TikTok and all this shit, like Instagram DMs and stuff. Some girls are so addicted to the dopamine that they can get from messages that they'll just reply to you just because they're bored, and it kind of makes them feel good eventually that you'll reply back. If she's dry, if she's taking a long time to reply, if her messages aren't that nice and, you know, engaging, she's probably not that into you. And I've mentioned this story before a couple of times. It makes me seem really bad because I'm kind of like an asshole in this story. But there's been girls, that this happened multiple times, but I'll tell you exactly with one. There was a girl that I was sleeping with about 2 years ago, and every time I would go and see her, so we'd literally like go fuck in the woods, like every time I'd go see her, you know, we're playing around, we're playing music and stuff in the car and everything, and just I'd subtly see her phone when she'd, you know, she'd use it for a minute. And on Snapchat, on Instagram, everywhere, Tinder and shit, bro, she literally had so many guys unopened messages on her phone. I've seen the same like concept with so many different girls. Like they'll subtly just show that they've got like 10 guys messages on Snapchat that they've not opened. They've got 5 DMs right now that are unopened, and the last one's like 4 hours ago. When I saw this, forgive me for sounding like cringe, but this was the time that I really understood that I wasn't like a normal guy and I was becoming more and more like alpha, like some high level guy, because I was not this guy who was being left on red. I was the guy sat next to this girl about to have sex with her, or just had sex with her, and there was a bunch of these chumps who were still sending her messages. She's replying 4 hours later. This is somewhat controversial advice because a lot of like, you know, modern day people don't like this, but bro, if she's taking hours to reply to your messages, she's not that interested. Everyone disagrees with this and they're like, no, she could just be busy. The thing is, bro, there is not a single time that some girl out there is not next to her phone for 4 hours. If you are her top priority, if you're a guy that she's actually into and that she wants to date or meet, she's gonna reply faster to you.
That's, bro, nothing is more disgusting when a girl does that, when you're chilling with a girl
and she starts talking. I need to say, okay, someone just said, like literally we're still live streaming, someone just said another idea that I could talk about, a sign that a girl's not into you, is that she starts talking about other guys. And I've just started ranting to the stream, literally just telling them like, I don't mean to be like sexist or misogynist, but it's literally fucking disgusting. If you're trying to date a girl, if you're trying to like, you know, hook up with her or something, and she starts speaking about like some other guy that she's fucked or some other guy that she's dated, maybe I'm different or something, but I'm pretty sure this is almost like a universal trait in men. It just does something inside of us that just gets us like this weird, like repulsive, agitated feeling of like, we don't want to hear about like previous guys that you've been with. Interestingly, this might not be a total sign that she's not into you, because I've had girls who are totally into me, who literally like, you know, I'm hooking up with right there, who tell me about some other guys. And so of course, if they're hooking up with me, that must mean that they like me. And if they're telling me about other guys, then maybe this isn't a sign that she doesn't like you, but it's maybe just more of a sign of like a red flag that she's maybe like a lower quality girl. So we'll give that as like an extra bonus. Number 8, she doesn't want to be alone with you, and so she invites her friends to come like meet you and maybe you're going for a date. This was just suggested by a guy watching our stream right now, Nicholas Hanado, and it's one that I've actually heard, like this has never really happened to me, but I've heard that this has happened to other guys where they'll go on a date with a girl and she'll literally just show up with one of her friends. That must be so just uncomfortable, just awkward. Like, you know, best case scenario is like you meet the girl, you get one-on-one time, so you're able to establish rapport and maybe you can escalate some things. But if she's bringing like one of her girlfriends with her, it kind of destroys that possibility. Now, one thing to note, I will tell you a story actually. She could potentially bring her friends to just kind of slightly vet you first and then still go on to sleep with you. So there was actually one time that this happened, not to me, but like to some, essentially like a female friend of mine did this. So there was a girl that I was sleeping with who I ended up like dating and getting serious with in university. And me and this girl had this other female friend that we were all close to. Then this other female friend, I think it was on Tinder or something, but she like matched with some guy who was like really attractive, and then they were gonna meet today. Then she calls me and my girl and says, oh, you know, like he's coming today, but I'm not really sure. Like, can you guys like come wait in my room and, you know, we'll all like speak to him, we'll all chill with him. So of course, like that's almost like a bad sign for that guy, right? I'm not gonna lie, the guy was a fucking Chad. He was like Marine, you know, like some army guy. Came in, established a rapport. I liked him. My girl liked him. Our friend, female friend, liked him. We all go out for drinks and everything. And so, you know, it was kind of awkward. Like he didn't seem to be intimidated or like, you know, find it weird or anything. It was just kind of like, we were just in her room, just saying, oh yeah, we're just chilling. Oh, let's go out for drinks and stuff. He comes out for drinks with us, hits it off with the girl. They go back and actually end up having sex, and like she had a good time with him. So it's not totally a bad sign if a girl wants her friends to be around when you first meet, but you've got to like judge this with your own perception. If it seems like the reason that this is happening, like, you know, a girl doesn't want to be alone with you, is because she thinks you're creepy, that's not a good sign. But if it's potentially happening more so because she wants her friends to evaluate you, that could be a good sign, and it could actually show like a level of quality in the girl, because a quality girl does care about what, you know, the people in her network, her friends, her family think about the guy that she's gonna date. The 8th sign that we're gonna discuss that she's not into, and this one gets quite deep, was just recommended by another guy called Fayaz Al-Sarani, and he said, when she gives you mixed feelings. What I've learned through my experiences of dating is that when a girl is totally into you and you're gonna have such an amazing time with her, there is absolutely no mixed feelings inside of you. Instead, it's almost like the opposite. You almost have this level of like blissful certainty when you know that she's yours. And that is one of the greatest feelings for men that I really hope that you get with the next girl that you're interested in, where you have this level of like confidence where like, yep, of course she's into me. Of course she's like, she really wants me. That feels amazing for guys. It makes you feel so like responsible and masculine and focused on the things that matter. On the other hand, a sign that she's not into is that you actually feel mixed towards her. You feel a little bit like neurotic and anxious and like uncertain if, you know, she's into you. That feeling to have, like whether this girl that you like is not into you or potentially not into you, you know, you don't really know. It's such a negative feeling, and it's so distracting from the things that really, really do matter. You know, maybe you're going through your studies, maybe the exam season's coming up, maybe you really want to focus on your work, and yet when you're trying to study, when you're trying to work, when you're trying to, you know, focus in the gym, you're thinking about her, you're overthinking, why hasn't she replied and stuff. Personally, like, I don't really get into situations like that anymore, like for the past like months, maybe year or so. I respect myself too much to get into a situation with a girl who I'm not sure if she likes me. Now, of course, she can take some time, you know, to vet me and to get to know me fine. But if I get mixed feelings from a girl, if I kind of think, you know, I get this negative feeling inside of me, these negative thoughts, like, oh yeah, maybe she doesn't like me, maybe she's sleeping with someone else, maybe, you know, she thinks I'm a chump or something. I don't want to stay in that kind of situation. A lot of young guys don't really have the confidence or the self-respect to really force this into their life. And so what often happens with so many young guys is that they'll just be so distracted because they're just getting like these weird thoughts about this, you know, neurotically thinking about this girl, and maybe this is you right now. Maybe like through this entire video, you've literally just been thinking about this one girl, and you have this like this anxious feeling about her because you literally don't even know where you stand, and that's not a nice place to be in. The absolute truth is, and this is going to hurt to hear if you are, you know, experiencing this right now, the truth is, if she liked you, if she really was into you, you would not have any mixed feelings at all. If she likes you and she was going to be a good addition into your life, you would not be like uncertain about it. I will say this again because it's very important. If she was going to be a good addition to your life, you would not have a feeling of uncertainty. And likewise, if she's probably not going to be a good addition to your life, you probably will feel uncertain. Because let's say best case scenario, you feel really uncertain, you've got these mixed feelings, you don't know if she likes you, you're neurotically thinking about her, and you're thinking, okay, what's she doing? Is she messaging someone else? Is she into me or something? Let's say best case scenario, she ends up being into you. You realize then she's like, oh yeah, you know, I actually like you. And you feel really good and stuff. But the thing is, when you've got this kind of energy, chances are like, it's not just going to be like sweet after this. Chances are you might even end up dating this girl or getting into a serious relationship, and you're still going to have those kinds of feelings. A girl who's going to be such a great compliment to your life, you're not going to be feeling like weird about. Number 9, she's on her phone, distracted whilst you're trying to spend time with her. And this was just suggested by a guy called Adil. Imagine you're trying to go on a date with this girl and, you know, she said yes, and it feels so awesome. So you go on to a date and then she's just distracted and mindless because she's like literally on her phone whilst you're there. And, you know, you're on self-improvement, so you're not using your phone that much. And so literally she's like this, texting away. And you're just sat there just kind of like looking at her across the table. And me and my girl actually witnessed this. We were in London Canary Wharf a few weeks ago in a restaurant there, and this like Asian couple, like quite young, Asian guy, Asian girl next to us were on like a date together. This guy, bro, like even my girl was saying like he was being such a gentleman. He literally pulled open the chair for her, went and got the food and everything, asked her like really nice questions about herself. And bro, she was literally just there, just fucking typing away on her phone. Like, you know, she was like kind of like answering whilst like doing this while speaking to him. And me and my girl literally had like this, a little bit of a desire to almost like, it's rude so we didn't do it, but like to kind of say to him like, bro, like you're better than her. Honestly, you're better than her. Like, yeah, she was a pretty girl, but like a pretty girl who's got a dead personality, who's just distracted and stuff, like that's not a catch. Honestly, that's not a catch at all. A lot of what we've already discussed today just comes down to like self-respect, bro. If you respect yourself and you really want to be like, you know, a man of honor, you want to get more closer to being like Adonis, don't allow something like this into your life. Don't go onto a date with a girl and she's just distracted on her phone. This hasn't happened to me like that significantly, but I can just think of like subtle memories that I'm with some girl that I'm hooking up with or something, and she's just on her phone for like a little bit, you know, she's doing something, but like it's never been like such a huge problem. But even then, I don't like when someone is like using technology whilst I speak to them. And so with the girls that I'm a little bit more intimate with, if for example, I'm like, you know, speaking to her, she's like texting away, I'll literally just kind of grab her phone in a playful way and like throw it away or something, and obviously get more intimate with her. The beautiful thing about my girl is like she literally uses technology less than I do. Like I thought I was quite extreme with this. I thought I was, you know, the guy who like barely uses his phone and everything, bro. She literally uses her phone and she has a laptop, but I've not even seen her use it. So much less. I don't know if I should tell you the story, but like the first sort of day that I spent with her in Thailand, I remember it was literally, okay, the day we're checking out of the villa that me and Sam were staying in Thailand. And so me and her are in my bedroom, and then out of nowhere, we just hear a knock on my door. It's not Sam, because obviously he just shouts out, so we're like, what the fuck? So I open it, and it's literally the people who own the villa. It's like, you know, it's time to check out. So they came over to see like the last day you're in somewhere, so like maybe they'll look around to see if there's any damages or whatever like that. They start like, you know, so I speak to them, alright, fine, you know, and they're like, oh yeah, we're just here, we'll just have, you know, scan everything, okay, fine. So I tell them, okay, fine. I close the door, me and my girl like just, you know, busy. Then these guys just keep knocking on like every like 5-10 minutes. Oh yeah, there was this damage, like sorry to interrupt, there was this damage. More than 5 times I had to kind of like stop being with my girl and, you know, go outside to like speak to these guys who own the villa, and, you know, eventually I had to like pay some bills because like we burnt down the place. I'm not gonna lie, like there was a fire in my room and everything. I should tell this story at some point, but essentially, you know, there was a bunch of damages. I had to speak to these guys, apologize, pay like a bunch of money and stuff. You know what was interesting? What drastically increased how much I fell in love with my girl. Every time that I stepped out for a few minutes to talk to these guys and came back in, she was just waiting there, and the moment I walked in, she was just like already looking at me. I expected every time that I walked out and back in that, you know, she'd be just like quickly you know, just doing something like that. Not once. Imagine how much of a man you feel like that every time you go in to like, you know, see your girl, you know, she's in the room or something, you walk in and she's literally there waiting for you. Think about how fucking turned on you would be when a girl is there waiting for you instead of just, oh, dopamine. Like, that's such a beautiful green flag that I saw in her. And so of course the red flag is the sign that she doesn't like you. She's just on her phone too much. And I don't think we should be very like offensive about this, because we know just how like bad the addictions are to the, you know, this modern technology. And so she's not a bad person for how addicted she is to her phone, because we know how like hooking these like platforms are. We know what they do to like, you know, trigger your addiction and to make you stay on the platform for longer. So she's not a bad person for this, but it is kind of a sign that she's not that into you, because a girl, again, who really sees you really highly, she'll place you as the priority above just checking Snapchat quickly. And finally, the 10th sign that she's not into you is that she friend zones you and asks you, oh, can we just be friends instead? I used to make like very red pill videos a while ago, and I said once that the thing is, hot alpha guys still get friend zoned in a certain way, but not like how you think. To the chump, like to the beta male, she'll say like, can we just be friends? And she obviously doesn't want to be friends with you. But about the alpha male, she'll be talking about him when she says, oh, but no, but he's just a friend. How she describes you and kind of what kind of relationship she wants with you is the biggest indicator by far of if she likes you or not. There's a phrase which I really like, which is observe her actions, not her words. Because a lot of girls, like, they don't mean to be bad people, but a lot of girls can often lead like a guy on, and, you know, they can kind of promise him like a relationship or anything, you know, say that they're interested, reply back and stuff. But in the end, it's her actions that matter. And if her actions are showing that she just wants to be friends with you and just just, you know, pleasantly talk to you, then that's not a good sign that she actually likes you. But if her actions are showing that, you know, she wants to date you, she wants to sleep with you, she wants to be intimate with you, then of course, then she likes you. But the thing is, if you watch this far of the video, you knew that already. You knew that if she dated you and slept with you, yeah, she likes you. So the issue that a lot of guys are getting stuck in is that when they're not seeing the real action from her show attraction, they listen to her words. And so when she says, oh, let's just be friends, like, you know, they've got this glimmer of hope. They get friend zoned, but they're like, oh, well, you know, we're friends, and, you know, I might be able to like change her mind after a while. She's not saying, can we just be friends, to the guy that she actually likes and wants to be with. Of course not. Because if she actually liked you, if she wanted to be with you, if she wanted to sleep with you, she wouldn't say, oh, let's just be friends. Like, she'd pursue that. And maybe, you know, she'd tell you some other kind of excuse or rejection. Like, oh no, I'm really sorry, I'm not, you know, I really don't want to date right now. You know, I really do like you, but like my parents won't let me. Okay, that's something different. But if she's kind of just giving you like, oh, let's just be friends, like, chances are she doesn't actually want to be friends with you. She just doesn't like you enough, and she's not very good at like rejecting people, honestly. This is a really long and quite detailed video that I've wanted to make for you because the relationship problems you can go through, especially when you're young and not so experienced with girls, can really, really mess up your mind. And I've been there myself. I've seen my friends experience, you know, like getting led on by girls, or, you know, she's texting in a dry way, or she's not coming to meet you. And it's a very like sad sort of common experience for guys. I think another issue is that I see a lot of like dating advice out there, which I swear is kind of like Jeffrey propaganda, which tells young men not to follow like what we've talked about today, and it tells them, you know, to be okay with her cancelling because she's not ready or something. The more you improve yourself and the more you respect yourself, you'll start to set higher standards for the girls that are in your life. And that's the best case scenario, because then the girl that you do actually allow into your life is just up there. And that's what I wish for you. Click and watch this video right now. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah!